You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn connects you with experts from all over the world to help you take charge of your career, your business, and your life. Rap along with us. Visit drjacalyn.com to learn how to become a guest or a sponsor. And now, the doctor is in.
Hello and welcome to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn, the Underdog Show. I am your host and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. I am a certified life, career, meditation, and yoga coach, and I am thrilled to welcome my co-host. This is our very first show. He is joining us from London. He is the Doctor Who of business. Welcome, Ben Chai, to the program. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Dr. Jacalyn. How are you doing today?
I'm doing so well, thank you. How are you doing there in London?
London's great. We're going through a little heat wave during the day, so it's very sunny. And it's just wonderful, wonderful weather. Yeah, brilliant. Everyone's waiting for lockdown to be lifted so we can go out and enjoy it.
Woo! Lift the lockdown. I love that. And you just had a time change there, didn't you?
Yes, but I'm always changing my time anyway. That way I don't know what time it is. Therefore, I get used to living with change and constantly pivoting. So
that's important.
Yes, you need to know these important facts if you are a Time Lord.
You're a Time Lord and a landlord.
Yes. Thank you for that. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
I'm really excited about this. Our inauguration, if you like, show where we focus on underdogs and how people have changed in their lives. That something has happened to them, something terrible. Maybe they didn't get support from their family or friends, or maybe institutions just thought they were totally mad, but they pushed through and they managed to achieve something amazing. And I'll give you an example. There was a lady called Diann Boehm, and you can YouTube her, and she comes on to one of the talent shows, and everyone thinks she's a total idiot on stage. You can see it. And then she sings. And this lady, I think she was in her either late 40s or mid 40s or 50s, whatever. And she blows the whole stage away. And since then, her entire life has changed. But all through her life, she thought she could do this. And most people in her life thought, nah, you'll never, ever be successful in that area. So that's what we're looking at, how people have changed in their lives, how they've overcome hard things in their lives. So this is Ben, and I'm so excited about this.
Thank you for sharing that. I think she sang Amazing Grace.
That was one of the songs she sang in the America's Got Talent, but in Britain's Got Talent, she actually sang something from the musicals, and that's why I mention her, because I'm so excited that we've got someone who's from musical theater.
We sure do. And I think we should bring her out. I want to just give a little bit of background about Diann Boehm. We did not know each other prior to the pandemic, and we met really through a crazy thing happening. Somebody was supposed to be on the show. She wasn't able to be on the show. And I said to this other person, would you mind finding someone else who could substitute, fill in? And she introduced me to Diann Boehm. And since that time, Diann and I become really good friends. And I'm friends with her daughter now. And Diann, in addition to everything that she's already accomplished in terms of being an author and a performer and a storyteller and a teacher, she is the queen of networking. She has introduced me to so many people. She does it all the time without being asked. Let's bring on to the show Diann Boehm, joining us from Texas.
Woo! Hi, I'm so humbled. Thank you for the intro.
So, Diann, can you sing "I Dreamed a Dream" from
I
Les
was just
Miserables?
going to tell you that was the one she sang.
Oh, I
And,
was just going to surprise it on you.
and
This is the Underdog Show. I was going to think, oh, I'm under pressure. I didn't know.
no, and who could outsing her in that song? I'm so glad you mentioned her. That was a beautiful intro, because I actually remember I was living in Dubai when she was trying out, and so I saw that particular show and how they treated Susan going before she went on, and I was just like, oh, they're so cruel to her.
Yeah.
But I was having the same thought, like, what is her voice going to sound like? And she just the very first note, she already melted my heart. And I listen to her all the time, and her Amazing Grace version is gorgeous. But I Dreamed a Dream, I mean, it just knocks your socks off.
Do you know, I've seen that. It's on Britain's Got Talent. I've seen that audition like probably 12, 13, 14 times. And it still makes me cry.
Me too.
Not just singing the song, but her walking on, and you see the entire judging panel. You see the entire audience, because the camera looks at her, looking down on her and thinking, she's just an idiot person on this stage. But wow, she just killed it.
Right. And her life journey is just amazing. So I hope one day she'll actually be on this show.
Oh, wow. Hey, that's an
Yes,
idea.
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Why not?
Especially with the two of you and all the connections that you both have.
Oh, she's just an amazing human being, I think. And I think she would touch a lot of spirits on your show, which makes me very humble to be on your show, because everyone is an underdog at some point in their life, and I certainly can't compare to a lot of people in their hard times, but I'm excited to share my story.
Yeah, we all have our underdog stories.
Yes.
And before you tell us yours, do you have a song for us? Do you think you can do? Am I going to be putting you on the spot here? Because I know you. I read your bio and I noticed you do some musical theater, which I'm an absolute fan of.
I love musical theater, and what I've learned through the years, which I can share later as well, is that I actually love being in the chorus more than anything, because you're on stage more, and I love being part of the story. I don't need to be a star. I just want to be part of the storytelling and making people happy.
I want to interject. So you can sing live, or I can play the happy birthday song that you left on my phone.
Oh, I don't even know how bad that is, but yeah. How did that make you feel? Were you shocked?
Well, I know you have a beautiful voice, and it was so nice to hear Happy Birthday being sung by someone who really can sing. So it made me cry. I thought it was absolutely beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Well, let's see. I have it warmed up, but let's see. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the curtain is high. Oh, your daddy's rich, and your mammy's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry.
I would give a standing ovation, but I'm not wearing pants. Exceptional. And how about she performed right on point, on spot, whatever the word is, terminology.
A cappella, yes. Fantastic. Love. I'm a great fan of a cappella.
A cappella.
And Ben, you're a dancer, right? So we can have we could put our own stage show on right now.
Yeah, I'll go get my hats. What the heck?
Why not?
Remove the bow tie. I'll be naked without that. But
that was from Porky and Bess, and if y'all haven't seen Porky and Bess, that's a beautiful story.
Well, we're interested in yours, Diann.
Okay, well, let's get going.
Yes.
What do you have for me?
So what's been the biggest challenge in your life?
The biggest challenge. How about I start with, that's really good. I don't know the biggest challenge. Every single one seems a challenge.
Okay, share with the audience a little bit about your background, because they only know that you've been in musical theater at the moment.
Right. So so my background now is I wear many hats. So I'm a children's author, and I'm just about to release my very first chapter book for young readers and up, based on my grandmother and her beautiful life. And yes, I have two grandmothers, so let me say my maternal grandmother, Ruby Harris. But I would like to say that, first of all, the definition of underdog for me right now on this show is thinking that you're not a winner, you're a loser, or you're trying out for something and you're the predicted loser, whether you've heard you are or you think it in your head. And so that's how I'd like to approach thinking about the underdog. And I think in different journeys in our life, we have these moments. And what I would love the audience to work with is how in these moments, instead of talking ourselves negatively that we can't achieve who we're truly meant to be, is what can we learn for that and turn it into a positive so that you can start telling yourself, I can. Because just like the children's book, The Little Engine That Could, until he kept saying, I can, I think I can, until he achieved it. And that's what we all have to do in our life, no matter what. I used to, my daddy owned a vending company. And in the summertime, I would work for him. And one of the places I worked was at the rehab center. And I worked there all day long because there was, you never wanted people to have their change. And there was, the vending machines were getting emptied all the time. So I was always filling them back up and making sure the changer worked and so forth. It was a family business. And so I got to know a lot of people that would come in through the Houston Rehabilitation Center. And it just really opened my eyes to how blessed I was that all my arms and feet were working, that, I met this incredible woman who was in one of those lung machines, iron lungs, and she was the most incredible artist at that time that I'd ever seen, and she painted all day long with her teeth, and what an inspiration that was. So when it comes to underdogs, I never ever want people to think that my journey was so bad that, oh my gosh, because I've seen so much hardship and people overcome them.
That was brilliant, Diann. We have to take a commercial break, but there's a lot more that we want to hear from you, right, Ben?
Absolutely. We actually want to know just a tiny little bit of your journey. I mean, you've written 4 books, and you've worked with the Apple education system. So
I'll be happy to.
How you got involved?
Will do.
I want to say hello to Elise Bankar, to Mohammed, I hope I say this right, Kikish, to Elbichar Aliate, to John Anthony, to Paul Gugano, and to Tom Lowe. Thank you so much for posting on Facebook. We appreciate that. We are going to take a break right now. We're actually going to hear from our sponsor, Diann Floyd Boehm. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Story Garden. Your host, Diann Boehm. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Diann Floyd Boehm tells wonderful stories that warm the heart, spark the imagination, and unite people and families across generations. For children, Diann's Harry the Camel connects with all of us who've ever wondered how different our lives might have been if only we'd been born something better, like a wonderful horse instead of an ordinary camel. In the end, we all learn along with Harry that there's nothing better than just being yourself. Diann's Little Girl in the Moon looks down on earthbound children and wonders if they know she's just like them. A story of love, home, and the bond between mother and daughter, its powerful theme that we're each of us different yet all of us the same plants a seed in children that promises to blossom within a loving and trusting grown-up. Diann's new biography, Rise, recounts the experiences of her grandmother, Ruby, to reveal the hidden strength of the human spirit. Ruby's story inspires all of us to become the best versions of ourselves. You'll find all of Diann's delightful books and much more at diannfloydboehm.com. Visit diannfloydboehm.com. That's diannfloydboehm.com.
Located at 121 Haddon Avenue in Westmont, New Jersey, is Margie Cedrone, artisan jeweler. Margie's been in business for more than 30 years. She works with her clients to create custom pieces of jewelry to reflect their personality and help them make their own bold statement. Starting in the renowned Jewelers Row in Center City, Philadelphia in 1988, Margie works directly with her clients to develop one-of-a-kind pieces such as necklaces, engagement rings, wedding bands, unique watches and tennis bracelets, as well as a myriad of rings and earrings for everyone in your family. She also has worked directly with Dr. Jacalyn over the years, creating unique pieces of jewelry to reflect her personality. She does pearl stringing and repairs on site at 121 Haddon Avenue. Call or text Margie at 215-384-7155. Margie Cedrone Jewelry is open by appointment only. Make your own bold statement.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Welcome back to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn, the Underdog Show. I am your host and executive producer. My co-host is Mr. Ben Chai, joining us from London, and our guest is Diann Boehm, joining us from Texas. I just want to say thank you to everyone for watching. We are on 11 platforms, and I can't stop cheering about it. Yay!
Yay!
Yay! That's fantastic.
3 yays together.
That's right. Yay, yay, yay. And I also want to say hi to Elliot Riviera and to David Lawson. So, Ben, I think we were just chatting with Diann about some of her journey, but we need to hear more.
Yeah, we do. I think Diann keeps being very elusive. Dr. Diann, what do you think? She keeps kind of deflecting us onto other people's stories. And,
yes,
and we know that the audience want to know more about Diann.
That's right. Well, let's just say in fourth grade, that was the first time I was on stage. And when I heard that clapping, it was like, that was it. I knew that I wanted to be on stage. With that being said, in 5th grade, we changed schools. And at my other school, you never heard from the teachers, you cannot do that. But in 5th grade, it was like, you cannot be in the choir. You cannot sing. No way. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what happened to my world? And I kept bothering the teacher, like, what can I do to be in the choir? And I begged her so much. She finally just said, you need to go home and you need to learn to listen. You sing flat. And I'm like, what is that? And a long story short, I'd be speaking to my grandma, Ruby, the one that you'll read a book about. And she and my parents would always say, just because someone says no, you don't believe them. And I think throughout other things I'll share with you is that always knowing that my grandmother, my Aunt Pat, whom I'm named after, and my parents were always like, okay, they said no, what are you going to do about it? Okay, they said no, what are you going to do about it? Do you really want it? And that helped me along my journey. Until the end, the 5th grade teacher let me be in the choir, but are you ready for this? She said, okay, you can be in the choir, but don't sing. And of course, I was like, okay, I can do that. I'll just mouth the words. And of course, the first time on stage, I got so excited seeing the audience that it was like, slowly my voice started coming out. And she'd be like, and looking at me, and slowly the voice got louder. And pretty soon I was just taking over the whole stage. And there was a whole big story after that. But I never, ever let somebody say, just because you can't do it, you can't do it. In 6th grade, I did make the choir, and that took me on all kinds of journeys. And then you fast forward to college, and I was going to get a teaching degree. But at the same time, I was doing a lot of acting, trying to become famous. So I would enter. So in Texas, we look at beauty pageants in a different way. So I have 5 brothers, and my parents had a lot of mouths to feed. And so I wanted to go to college. And when my daddy was like, you're 18, why don't you want to get married? And I'm like, I got 5 brothers. Why would I want to do that to myself? And so anyway, he goes, well, you have to help pay for your part of your college, which I'm really glad he did that, because it makes you appreciate your learning journey. And so I would enter, I never thought of myself as pretty, but a woman that I babysat for was going to start one of the first pageants in our area. And she said, I just want you really, because I want you to sing. I want you to enter the talent show. And if you win the talent, you win college money. Well, that was it. I was like, okay, I am there. So that's how I got involved in all that. And that was really one of the best things that happened for me, because I would always lose, but sometimes I'd win talent, which was exciting for me. And I didn't care if I didn't win the crown, because I wanted the college money. But what was so exciting and important in my journey about it is I didn't know how to interview. And when you're working on the Miss Texas up to Miss America, they're teaching you about yourself, how to interview, how to walk into a room, and everything you're learning is things that you would take into your business world, whether it's teaching or in a corporate company, that business interview. And I can't say enough about what I learned from all of that and took away, till eventually, of course, I did win Mr. Park and went on. But those moments of the journey were amazing. Sorry,
Diann, just a quick one. Sorry. Just want to, because you've shared so much, so I just want to take 3 lessons away. I'm sure our audience can work that out. So the first thing is that I've learned from your journey, if somebody says no, ask yourself, when they say no to you, what can I do about it?
Exactly.
What can I do about it? They've said no. What can I do about it? Shall I quit? Shall I? And this is what you did. You thought, okay, no, but you thought, why? What? And and she said, oh, your voice is a bit flat, so I'm sure you went and started working on your voice. I'm guessing as part
Correct.
of your journey, yeah. So
Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews. Did you have marbles in your mouth?
No, I listened to the Sound of Music over and over and over and over again. So I
Right.
walked in and I sang Climb Every Mountain for the choir teacher.
Oh, brilliant.
I love
So,
that.
so you took this throughout your life. Whenever somebody said no to you, you'd be thinking, what can I do about it?
Correct.
You then went and got education and learning to overcome their objections, and you bugged the hell out of them. All right, but be quiet. Get on stage, but be quiet.
That's right.
then you couldn't help yourself and got into, because I mean, I really wanted to hear the rest of that story when you said, but don't, that was a big thing. But I'm guessing that they got annoyed with you, or either that, or the audience thought you were just amazing, or they needed to teach you how to work as a team. Or I'm guessing it's one of those.
Well, when we went off stage, and some parents came around back, and the choir teacher was ready to eat my head off. A parent said, who was that incredible girl who was smiling, and we just couldn't take our eyes off of her? And I got this glare from that teacher. And after that, I just kept singing. So, and she let me actually sing, and she worked with me. So, because she realized, according to the parents, everybody else had stage fright, but not me.
Yeah, that's a beautiful story. It's almost like a Suzanne Boyle, but backstage kind of.
Exactly. Except I don't have her gorgeous voice. But,
And I think it's interesting that if you hadn't pursued and listened to your intuition, how things would have been different for you. So I think that's a really important lesson for people to learn. That I always think that if someone tells me no, I think that means not now.
Yeah.
And I'm just I'll find a different way.
That's absolutely right. And it was the same for, I wanted to take journalism in high school, and the teacher says, no, you didn't make an A in grammar. And I'm like, okay, what? So I couldn't be in journalism. And so I thought I couldn't write. And of course, now I'm a children's author, and I wish I could find that teacher and say, look at me now.
Look at me now.
Diann, I want to share a little story with you. I had 4 or 5 English teachers tell me I could never, ever write. I used to fill in. As a kid, we used to have these exercise books. And I used to fill up 3 exercise books with stories, because they'd give us one title. And one day, one of the teachers said, if you just write 2 pages, I will still give you your C-, right? I know.
Oh my goodness. I
was also demoted to the bottom, kind of class for English. Mm-hmm. And today I've made more money in writing than all 5 English teachers' salaries put together.
Congratulations, and yay, you didn't give up.
If they could see.
Here's the thing: they were probably right, Diann. Mm-hmm. They were probably. I wasn't good at it, but the thing is, the more you do it over and over and over, the better you get. And my handwriting is atrocious, and it still is today. It was then, but guess what happened? Computers came along. Yeah. So now you can type. Nobody can tell I've got a terrible handwriting.
Can we see a sample of your handwriting?
Yes, you can in private.
Okay. But no, you are absolutely right. I mean, I can. My teachers were correct, and even my other teacher that I had, Miss Lapidus, that now I just love her. But at the moment, it was like I was always crying, and I couldn't fill the white paper, because what I discovered, and especially being a teacher now, I can appreciate what they were doing, but. I can clearly remember getting the paperback with my story, and I think, oh, this is so good. Like, I wrote this story about Elvis Presley and how he's still alive because I love him so much. He just happens to be on a different planet singing. What's wrong with that, right? Elvis, maybe we can beam him back down. No, he's on the radio still. Anyway, so, but there was these red marks everywhere. And what I discovered and could appreciate now is that I was thinking too fast, but all I could see was red. And it was like, you can't write. So what I want the audience to know is just because you got that red doesn't mean you can't write. And you're absolutely right, Ben. The more you do it, the better you become.
Yeah. That's
we have a comment from Fraser Ramsey. Hi, Ben, Jacalyn, Diann. Hope you're all well. Thank you, Fraser. It's nice to hear from you. Thanks for watching the show. Well, I have to be the bad person and say it's time to go to commercial break, but we're going to hear from someone very special. I'm not going to say who it is. Someone very special's company. We'll be right back. And Diann, when we come back, what I'd like to find out is, how did the way you were treated when you were a student impact the way you are as a teacher today?
Sure.
Okay. Stay with us. Ben, don't go anywhere, all right? I'll be right back.
The world of healthcare is benefiting us in many ways, but the risk of becoming a victim to an airborne infection is increasing at a fast pace too. There are threats from viruses, allergic pollen, and chemicals which cause you loss of health, income, business, mental health, family and friends. All are at stake. One solution to this threat are the BV Air Sanitation Placide-based systems. When you call our team on 0208 104 3253, you find out about the amazing protection available. Protection that uses certified Battlefield, tested, standard and customized air disinfection systems for your personal and business use. Each system uses a filterless technology known as Placide, which attacks all airborne particles with microlighting to destroy and eliminate viruses and other harmful particles in your office, transport and home. You also benefit from extra bonuses such as low running and maintenance costs, no regular filter and part changes. You get to work with our trained experts and professional staff and be made aware of the latest in airborne protection and disinfection strategy. Keep yourself healthy by working with our trained experts and Placide virus killing systems, which keep you safe from airborne viruses. BV Air Sanitation Limited. We save lives, save businesses, and prevent infection. Schedule your free consultancy call and virus protection checklist. Call 0208 104 3253 or connect to us on www.bvbuster.com.
When all my broken sneakers started to pile up in the wardrobe, I realized that we have a problem. Sneakers are made from plastics, and plastic is not mendable. My name is Philip, and I'm one of the founders of Our Choice Fashion. How many times did this happen to you? How can eco sneakers save the world when they break after only a few months and we have to buy pair after pair that breaks? We are here to give you the solution, a choice for truly sustainable fashion in the world's first circular sneakers. On average, we all buy 3 pairs of sneakers each and every year. This adds up to 25 billion sneakers per year, of which most end up in landfills. This adds up to 350 million tons of CO2 emissions, the same amount as for the country of Italy or the state of California. So we started to develop a product that would have all the old-fashioned qualities. It is mendable, it has a classic design, and it has a natural comfort. Because we chose the best designer there is, Mother Nature. The sneakers get more and more comfortable the more you wear them. Made from vegetable tan leather and natural latex from the rubber tree, the sneakers are both sustainable and comfortable. These sneakers are made from pure raw materials that are both fully biodegradable and fully recyclable. The best thing here really is that when your sneakers need an upgrade, you just send them right back to us using the same bag that you got them delivered in. We then resole your sneakers, put on a fresh pair of laces, and give them a nice new polish. This means that you can wear your sneakers for many years to come. Our sneakers are more than sneakers. They are a circular function, and we developed a smart pull for you to step into your sneakers without stepping down the heel. This means that you get a truly sustainable grip. We've got a fully circular business model, and that's why we'll only produce sneakers on your demand. Book your product now and get that sustainable grip at a discount. We've been on this amazing journey for 2 years, and now we're inviting you to also make a choice for truly sustainable fashion. Try the world's first circular sneakers, 100% plastic free, and I can promise you that our choice will be your companion for many years to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Welcome back to the Underdog Show here on Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn. My co-host, Mr. Ben Chai, is with us, and our guest, Diann Floyd Boehm. Thank you to our sponsors. I just wanted to ask you, Ben, in that first clip that we played, is that supposed to be you?
No.
One with the spiky hair?
No.
I'm sure there's a story there. Okay. All right. When you show me your handwriting, you'll tell me about that. Okay, good. So let's go back to Diann. You shared what you went through when you were in school. And so you're a teacher. How did the way you were treated impact the way you treat others?
With lots of love and compassion. I was very lucky because I attended George Mason University, and their education program, at least at that time, was phenomenal. And so the way you taught was not the typical everybody's on the same page. You figured out where they were on that particular topic, and then everybody grew individually. So they had their own scale of learning. When so for example, when I was teaching in the Philippines, there was a young boy, and he was really behind, and he was very scared of tests, especially spelling. And so what I did was, I knew he was a verbal learner. So I let him take his spelling test in private verbally. And then each week he would learn to spell one word written until eventually he felt comfortable about writing and knowing he could succeed. And I think that's the power of teaching, is figuring out how every child can succeed and feel good about themselves.
I love that story. I really, really. And also you broke it down into mini chunks, one word a week, that by the end of a year, you've got 52 words. By the end of 2 years, you've got 100 words, and
And he's a successful businessman now.
Right, there you go. Wow. Does he sponsor you in all your businesses?
I'm sorry. Yeah. So.
Just call it paying it forward to him. Just say, listen.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's it, how you stayed in touch with him.
Well, we did lose touch. I knew his mom, but the way we ended up back in touch in this one process, because he and his family moved back to the States, was I received a letter one day, and he was going to have his bar mitzvah. And his mother said that he would not even attempt to learn how to prepare for his bar mitzvah unless I and my husband were there for his bar mitzvah. And so they paid us, they flew us up, and we were there for his bar mitzvah, and he studied. And I just thought that was the kindest thing I ever heard on earth, was for this student to say, well, he'll study if his third grade teacher was there.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get into the other areas of education? Because I understand you were one of the first people to get involved with the Apple education program.
Yeah, that's a great story in itself. So Steve Jobs, when he was very young and had his own gorgeous vision, he sent the first Apple computers over to the international school in the Philippines, where I just happened to be working. And so we started learning how to use this computer. Well, I just saw the magic of what this could do in the classroom, and I just embraced it, and I just started teaching myself as anything and everything I could do to help improve kids' learning and put it into the curriculum. So that's how that came to be. And then when we came back to America, I thought I'm going to be so far behind because I've been living, out of the States. But it turned out I was ahead of the game. And what was really, really funny is that I ended up in Dubai, many, many moons later, and I meet this woman, and she's like one of the first teachers to use computers in her classroom in California. And I was like, oh my goodness, because it was what we did in the Philippines. Then Steve went and used this one particular school in California, and here was one of the ladies that was one of the first ones to use it in California and help inspire other young teachers to use computers. And so isn't that incredible that could happen?
That is really incredible. It's fate.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Diann, what did your time in Dubai teach you?
Well, I always like to think wherever we traveled in the world, I'm very lucky because my husband, he's a former diplomat. So that took us to lots of places in the world, and he's very gifted with languages. I'm gifted with not knowing a stranger and body language so that people know I'm nice, even if I can't speak their language beautifully. But I would say in all my travels and in Dubai that, people have to understand that we're all alike. We all want the same things, whether we're living in Ethiopia or Africa or the States or England, the Middle East. We might pray differently. We might reach out for the stars differently. But the one thing we have in common is we're humans, and we want happiness and peace and love, and we want our young kids to thrive. And if we could all just embrace that, what a wonderful world it would be, right?
Yeah. I'm guessing, some of my friends who were born in Dubai find that they prefer to be in other countries because they find people tend to be more authentic in terms of the competitive nature of Dubai, where people are constantly sharing who's got perhaps the better watch or a better car. And so
better handwriting.
Sorry?
Who has better handwriting? That's important.
Well, they would definitely win that with me. I'll tell you that. But somewhere like the Philippines, they might find it might seem bizarre, but they would almost prefer to communicate with people from the Philippines because they would find them a bit more genuine. What's your perspective on that?
I think there's lots of things about Dubai that's superficial, but for me, I think when you're really living there, and of course I wasn't working, I was fortunate enough to be able to develop my theatrical skills. So I was always on stage and meeting people that I had a unique experience. And when I did become friends with some of the Emiratis, which is very difficult to do, that they're very genuine. And yeah, there's all that flashiness, but you can get from underneath it. The Philippines, though, I would say, are probably some of the most beautiful, down-to-earth, loving, talented, and you talk about underdog in countries, those people can embroidery and make things, and the furniture they make with rattan. I mean, I could just go on, and it's a beautiful country, just beautiful. But I love everybody. I mean, when I go to Norway, I went to the Arctic and dog sled. I love everybody.
How was it moving from the States to the Philippines, where so I've never been to the Philippines, but I do have friends in the States who are from the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing you had all the bugs, or maybe you lived in a hotel, so you never saw all the bugs, the big cockroaches and
Well, first of all, I'm from Texas, so our cockroaches fly.
Oh, no. Oh my gosh. Aren't they called palmetto bugs?
I don't know, but when you step on them, crunch, and then this white junk comes out. Don't you love that for your radio show?
So you were kind of used to that then?
Yeah, but for me, I found it exciting to be this little Texas girl from a teeny tiny town, and to be able to go to a new part of the world. And my daddy had been there before in World War II, and so I was very excited. But I was excited. So I write this book called The Little Girl in the Moon. And I am that little girl in the moon. And I used to have my bed, when the moon would come shining in, I would scoop my little bed by the moon, so the moonlight, and then I would take my sheer curtains and I would drape it over my bed and pretend I was a princess. And then I would have the magic carpet come, and I would fly to different parts of the world because I wanted to see people. And so for me, marrying my husband, he provides the magic carpet. And going to the Philippines was just the greatest adventure on earth for me. It was my first time out of the country, and I love them completely. And if you ever go, you must have calamansi and Mongolian barbecue.
Okay, I'll do that.
Put that on the list. Diann, do you have any of your books there? I see.
I have a few. Of course, I have some in the background. I have The Little Girl in the Moon, The Big Idea. And that one.
Can you move that closer to the camera a little bit?
Come closer. Closer.
And I did the illustrations, and that's another story for the Underdog. My art teacher scared me, so I never picked up a pen or a paintbrush for almost 50 years. And then I decided I would not let the teacher hypnotize me anymore and believing I can't do it. And I started taking lessons, and look at me now. I'm an illustrator.
Look at you now.
That's amazing.
So I want your listeners to know that you can do it.
The covers are so beautiful. Would you like to read something from one of your books to us? That would be great. Don't you want to be read to? We had her sing, and now she can read to us.
I do, but I just want to, again, just do a little recap on
go ahead, please.
Diann's little journey. So 3 more things I've learned from your journey is, one, if you can maintain this attitude of excitement, like no matter what's going on. So you saw the reality, for example, of Dubai and of Philippines, but that didn't allow you not to see the underneath, some of the good and the wonderful things behind some of the superficial aspects. So I'm thinking if you can always keep that kind of like wonder about you, that will help. No matter how many people tell you can't do things, you're thinking, yes, but I can, and I can find a way, but also I can find the good in what they're saying to me and pivot and use that for my benefit. And 2, just to find allies. You've got this wonderful gift of making friends wherever you go, no matter what the situation, what the culture, what their belief system. So if you can just find a way to connect with people, then that will also help push you forward and help them connect with you and take you with them. And 3, you have this ability to just give wherever you are. So if you can find ways to give people without expecting anything in return, I'm thinking that's also what's helped you do well under. Sometimes I'm guessing if your husband has to travel quite a lot, sometimes kind of pressurized situations.
Yeah, wow, you nailed it all straight on. Absolutely, you're absolutely correct, and good for you.
And fantastic.
And that's what we want our listeners to do, is to become the best that they can be and be positive. And if your world changes, that's good. It's good to have change in your life. You need to get out from underneath your comfort zone and find something new. I mean,
I think
never in my life did I always dreamed and wanted to go to Africa. And now I've been to so many countries there. And you think, oh, you're going to go and you're going to help people. And oh, that's so sweet. But actually, in Kenya, Ethiopia, and Uganda, every one of those 3 countries, I learned more from them and the beauty that they have. And it's just amazing.
So what I like about your positivity is that you don't lose sight of the reality, but you're able to accept the reality and still be positive in the reality of different situations.
Right, because we all live on this planet, but we all have a different world that we live in. And we have to be able to accept that particular world and join it and become part of it in order for us to grow, and not make it where we have to make their world be like ours, because that's yucky, because every culture has a beauty to it. And I really want to enjoy that culture, and I want to learn.
Yeah, I remember when I was in Angola, I was teaching there, and I've come from the UK, so I have a bit more finance than they do. So they would take me to a bar or something, and I would pay for the drinks, and they just got very angry with me. And they said, "You are being very disrespectful. Yeah, you are our guest." Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it really humbled me a lot, Diann, to feel like, as you say, I'm almost changing the way they're doing by thinking I have more than they do.
Right, right.
So yeah, it was a very humbling lesson I had to learn.
Yes, and it's awesome, right?
Yeah, they were absolutely awesome people. Fantastic. Yeah,
I love all the experience you both have in traveling the world. It's so interesting. So thank you for sharing. I want to say hello to Vic Bobadilla, and I want to say hello to Jersey Man Yard, and also Alicia Babcock. So sorry about pronunciation of the names, but thank you for watching. Thank you for being here today.
Yeah, and if any of them want to send a chat question, I'm sure we would love to be able to answer, because we want all you listeners to be the best that you can be. And
do we? Why?
Yeah, because that's why they were born, was to share their talent.
Diann, which book do you want to read from?
Let's see. I have so many. Shall I do my poem?
Yes, please.
Ben, I don't think you've heard it. So a little setup things up is where the little girl on the moon is all worried about the earthling wishes getting lost, and something magical has to happen. So she wrote this poem that I hope to become a song one day. Moonbeams. Stars shimmer in the blue moonlight, wishes swirling in space. Glowing moonbeams brighten the night, guiding the wishes to the stars. Moonbeams and stars shining bright, may wishes come true tonight. Wishes rise from cities and farms throughout the whole wide world. Hopeful wishes for joy and peace, and healing wishes of love. Moonbeams and stars shining bright, may wishes come true tonight. Stars shimmer in the blue moonlight, as wishes come true tonight.
Wow.
Better drink some water.
So much imagery in there that I wanted to do one of those kind of dances to it. What do you call them when you adapt it to the song or the poem?
I like to see that.
Me too.
Would you like
Diann to read it again?
I was thinking when you were going stars and moonbeams, but I only have this little square to do it in. So, and I didn't want to distract our audience from just your beautiful voice and having their own imagery.
Thank you. Well, thank you.
Diann, where can we find your books?
You can find them at my website, DiannFloydBoehm.com. And they're on Amazon, and in local stores you can order it, and in Barnes & Noble for those in the United States. Am I blessed or what?
You certainly are. You certainly are. And for people who are on the radio in Radioland listening, Diann has a special promotion. If you sign up for her newsletter, she will give the first 10 people a signed copy of her book. Which book will it be, Diann?
Yeah, which book?
I take turns so they can choose. They can just tell me which book they want.
Okay.
That way I actually know they've looked at my newsletter.
Dr. Jacalyn, do we have a time to ask Diann just a small synopsis of the
It's
different
our
books?
channel. We have up until the next show, which is at 2:00. So we have another hour.
I don't know what 2:00 is.
It's just about 1:00 here in the East Coast. So we have another hour till the business show.
All right. Okay. Well, okay. Yeah. If you could give us the audience just a tiny synopsis of each of your books, that would be, what's Harry the Camel about?
Oh,
Harry the Camel. Sorry, not Hamel.
Harry the Camel. That's okay. He's so cute. He's actually in English and Arabic, and I'm working on it being translated into Spanish. So Harry does not like himself. He wishes he was a horse. But in the end, he discovers there's nothing better than being who you are. And I wrote this book because I wanted to get back to Dubai because I had such a beautiful life there. And the people are so charming. And I have so many friends around the world from there. And I illustrated it along with a friend of mine from Sri Lanka because I wanted to open the world of illustrations for her. And this actually I drew with sand. So that was fun. Beautiful. And then the Little Girl in the Moon series. This was the very first one I wrote. And this one's how we're more alike than different. And it gives you an introduction of who the little girl in the moon is and what a moonling is. And so that's exciting. And then I wanted to write something about peace and love and harmony. And I thought, how can I do that differently? Because there's so many things out there now. So I took the Little Girl on the Moon and I wrote it about kind wishes and how we can make kind wishes come true. Of course, I just read the poem there. Until one day, for a moment in time, there is peace and harmony in the universe. So that's that picture there. And then I'm working on the Moonling language because obviously Moonlings don't speak English and some of the other languages in the world. And so we're learning the Moonling language, and that's really fun. And I'm having a blast with that. My youngest daughter helped me with some of the illustrations, and she's phenomenal. So if you need animation, just let me know because she can help you. And so you actually learn about the Moonling dogs, and they travel and show you their home in the community in Tycho Town, because Tycho Crater is the largest crater that we can see from Earth, and that's where the Moonlings live. And of course, I have an incredible backstory about the whole Moonlings and how they came to be. So hopefully one day it'll be a cartoon show. And then we have the Moonlings have the Little Girl on the Moon's morphed into the Moonling Adventures. And so the first place we go is the Serengeti. And I wanted to share that world because I've been there. And so my daughter, Catherine, this is a Moonling doggie. So the two doggies actually take you on the to the observatory with the Moonling boy and girl, and they see various animals, and you learn about various animals on Earth. And again, it's keeping with the theme of how we're more alike than different. And then I'm working on Rise, which I'll reveal that cover soon, but you did get to see it in the commercial. And I have 3 more stories that I'm about to start the artwork on. And those titles will be revealed very soon.
Oh, the big reveal. That's even information.
I'm looking at the moon. The
moon. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know you were writing the 3 more stories, Diann. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're written. I just have to illustrate them now.
Oh, written. Sorry.
Diann.
So, no, that's okay. Oh, is that my Moonling word?
I don't know. Did I pronounce it properly?
No, but I could try that. But you could say Talala.
Talala?
Talala. That
Talala?
means the doggy hotel.
Talala.
Meet me at
Talala.
Talala.
Meet me at the Talala, right?
Did you ever see the Clangers?
I'm sorry?
Did you ever see the Clangers?
No, I didn't.
It's a British kind of like a children's program, and that's all they talk. They go. I don't know why people used to watch it, and they lived on the moon.
I guess you were one of those people who was watching.
Yeah.
I guess I was.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
So Diann, a lot of my friends they'd love to be child authors and writing books for children. What suggestions would you give them? Like some of them, obviously, they've written some books and been rejected by the big publishers and so on. How have you got through that kind of whole world of publishing for children?
Wow, you just opened up the whole story I'm going to do for Dr. Jacalyn on another radio show. So, but I would say that you write because you want to write. And if you concentrate on, I'm going to get published, I'm going to get published. Of course, in your heart, you want to be, but it might take away from the true journey you're supposed to go. We're so lucky now because we can self-publish, and there's the hybrid publishing too. And so I would suggest that you look at all the different avenues to get your story out. And I also love it when people connect with me. So listeners, make sure you hear this, and please, Ben, share with your friends. I always believe if you've been blessed, you need to bless others. And so if anyone ever is trying to figure out where they're going wrong in their steps for publishing, that they can email me and I will help them at no charge, because I had a huge journey that was a very difficult one and a very sad one. And to be where I am now, I feel very, very fortunate. Did that answer your question?
It just opened up more questions.
And we need to know your email address too.
So that's very easy. Diann, Diann, Floyd, Floyd, Boehm, BOEHM.com. So it's me at DiannFloydBoehm.com.
All right.
Yeah. My work one.
Yeah.
So if you just go to my website, you can just click and you can get me.
Perfect.
I think you have this habit of dropping these little and that's a whole other story. So people just want to know what that story is. that was really joyful and great things happened, and people want to know what it is. That was really sad, and it was like, you don't know what it is.
I think you can write a whole movie based on that journey that I had becoming published. Seriously, you could. There's murder, there's adventure, there's lying, there's everything.
Oh my! Do you think other people would have to go through some of that?
I hope not.
Yeah, because I know it's quite challenging to become a published author, having gone on a similar journey.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's so worth it. And actually, Dr. Jacalyn, you could share about Red, because the way he does it is incredible. So maybe you could share your journey.
Absolutely. And I just want to mention Diann will be on A Better You today at 4:00. And I think you're going to be sharing some tips for writers, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So please join us. So my story quickly is that I have never written a book. I wrote my dissertation for my doctorate, which is a book, believe it or not. It has a spine and all, but I never wrote a book. So one of our frequent guests, he's also a charter presenter on A Better You. His name is Red O'Loughlin, and Diann introduced me to him, of course. And so his process as an independent publisher is to meet face-to-face over Zoom. And we actually record the sessions. I provided him with 30 questions. He asked me the question and then I answer. And then we send the recording each week to rev.com, and they provide a written version of what I said when I was speaking. And then that has to be edited, but that's a great way that somebody can get a book done pretty quickly. So I started mine, I don't know if it was I think it was February, I'm not sure, and very close to having it finished, just doing the editing.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's Red O'Loughlin. And guess what? Red is going to be on this afternoon on A Better You. So all the worlds are coming together.
What I love about that is that for a lot of us, and Ben, I think this helps you also with your question, is that you didn't have to wait for a whole year. He works with you and zero ends on it so much that you're able to turn around and have your book ready for the audience. And it's a book that people want to read. And Ben, I think that's something I'll be sharing later today too, is that knowing your audience and what is needed out there to make your book relevant.
I think that's really important. Just so you're aware, I used to have a book writing company with my son, and so he's created books for many people, and one of them, the books helped him get a lot of television interviews and so on. So I kind of know different ways that people have been published, but I was just interested in your personal story, because that's what we like to know.
Because you're the underdog today.
That's right. So I'm just going to answer that is that I never gave up. They said no, and I said, yes, I will. And I kept looking to figure out how I'm going to do it. And then all of a sudden the doors opened up, and OC Publishing in Canada picked me up, and the rest is history.
There it is. The rest is on the moon.
Yeah.
And that sounds like your journey over and over. Like when people say no, you're thinking, okay, what am I going to do about it?
Mm-hmm. And it goes back again to, I'm so fortunate to have the parents that I had, and my grandmother and my Aunt Pat there saying, no, don't listen to that. What are you going to do about it? Right?
Yeah.
So
what are you going to do about it?
Sometimes you might be the only person who thinks that you can do it. Maybe everyone, your family, your friends, people have their own reasons, and you have to listen to your intuition.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, absolutely true. I won't go into how my family trying to protect me. Well, I will if I'm talking about it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was a very, very shy young man, and I didn't have any confidence. So my dad thought it would be just safe if I had a job in government, and didn't mean to say certain things to me, like, yeah, we don't think you're going to amount to much, so we've got you this job in government. But they were really trying to protect me. They didn't understand that. Again, people grow and evolve as they learn and meet new people, and then their thought processes change, just like yours did when you were in Africa,
right?
When you just got so many new insights.
Right. No, you're right. And as a parent, we do that. We do want to protect our children, and we think these different things and avenues, and we say things and we don't realize we actually are say hurting you in some ways, and we don't even know it when we think we're protecting you. And but that's, like you said, they're so proud of you now, I'm sure.
Yeah, that is so true. That is.
And they're like, what?
Think of all the lessons that we've had in this program today. It's really tremendous. There's no other place to go to watch anything because we have all the experts here, right?
Right.
With you too?
Well, honestly, if we had more time, there's the whole African journey. That what is it that you did learn in Ethiopia and the other African countries, and I'm sure you're
going to the Arctic and dog sledding. Wow, I learned a lot there too.
Well, we'll have you back on the show, Diann.
Yeah.
Be happy to.
That frosty one is a bit too cold for me, that story maybe, but
actually you'd be surprised.
See, she did it again.
I know. What does that mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
I'm full of stories.
You are. Yeah. You're the queen of storytelling and networking.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
So, Dr. Jacalyn, what shall we do now? I feel with that we
should wrap up for the show for today. It's been a complete pleasure having you here. I just saw that our guest for the business show is ill and not able to make it, so we have no guests. So if either one of you wants to be a guest at 2:00 Eastern time, let me know. But it's been a pleasure having you, Diann. You are you're so beautiful inside and out, and I mean this truthfully. I really love you, and you have changed my life by coming into it. So thank you.
Yes, and thank you for all those gems that you've just dropped throughout your stories. It was like I needed to stop you sometimes. I'm just like let me just think. Okay, right.
You're so kind.
And
it reminds me of when you have your handbag or your sack or something, and you've got money in there, and you trip, and then the money goes rolling away, and you're like trying. It's like, no, Diann, wait, there's more. I'm trying to get it.
Yeah. So thank you for that, and thank you. I'm sure you've got so many people sending you so many kind letters, but thank you, again for all the kind of like heartfelt gratitude and insights that you share with the world around you on your many journeys. Really,
thank you.
Thanks
Thank you.
again,
Thank
Diann.
you for having me, and I hope I get to be on the show with you guys again someday. And thank you for all y'all do, sharing your talents with the world. We're all very fortunate to have you guys.
Well, I'm glad that we're all connected. It's wonderful. And Diann, to you and everybody who's watching and listening, if you want to be on the show, all you have to do is go to drjacalyn.com, book your session. So we'll be seeing you again after you book yours, Diann. And until 4:00 when I see you today, I wish you a pleasant rest of your afternoon.
Thanks. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ben, how can people get in touch with you?
Yes. So if they want to get in touch with me, just connect with me on LinkedIn. So that's just look for Ben Chai. There's somebody with a face like mine.
Ben, can you also tell us, just you're on Clubhouse quite often, and can you just share how people can find you on there?
On Clubhouse? Well, again, just like Ben Chai and look for a face like mine.
I love it.
In the search bar. I run some of the clubs in Clubhouse with some wonderful teams who've adopted me. So the 529 Creative Club, which is all about people who want to be in the film industry, whether you're a producer, a script writer, an actor, or a budding one of any of these guys, maybe even just create background themes for films or the theater. So there's just a massive amount of people in these different groups, and of course we run workshops in the evenings for that. I have my own club called Social Magnetism, where I teach people about building their own 7- and 8-figure businesses. And there's just a few other clubs like Screw the Big Rooms. So if you don't like being in the large rooms because you can't get a word in, then come to that room and you'll always have a voice to share your story. And finally, the Performers in Property. So that's where we give people property education or real estate education, how to invest and grow your own, what we call residual or passive income. So that allows you to power your finances while you can focus on giving your value back to the rest of the world and doing the things that you're really passionate about.
Ben, thank you. Can you tell us a little bit about your book, Social Magnetism, and where we can find it?
Did you know, I was going to guess that you would ask me that question. I'm predicting you now, Dr. Jacalyn.
Yes, that's good.
So the book, it's actually a very quick book to read. But if you do the exercises, it might take you several days. It is in Amazon. So just type again, Social Magnetism in your search engine and it'll pick it up. Or just Social Magnetism and Amazon. So that's it, Dr. Jacalyn. I want to share some games with you later on for some future episodes, because I think we can really play with the app here and have a bit of fun.
Well, that sounds fantastic. I look forward to that. It's been great being on the show with you today. And as I mentioned, we have the business show that's at 2:00, and Alcini is off today. So we have a guest co-host, the Reverend Ralph Graves Jr. We saw his clip earlier. So we don't have a guest, but we have the two of us, unless Mr. Chai wants to be our guest today. And we interview you. Yeah,
I'd love to share some stories from, if you're talking from a physical perspective, and how they apply to the real world.
Absolutely. I will send you the link after the show.
Yay!
Yay, that's beautiful. So I'm going to close out this show with a couple of sponsorships, and we'll look forward to seeing you right back here on these 11 platforms. And the time is 2:00, the business show. Okay. Any final words, Ben?
Go out and enjoy your life.
I like it. All right. Thank you again for being here. We'll see you again soon.
Hi, my name is Zane Carson Carruth, and I'm the author of this book, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever.
Reading is magic. Studies have shown that reading to your children lays the foundation for greater success in life. Reading helps develop language and vocabulary skills. It helps improve memory, and it encourages curiosity and inspires creativity. The benefits are immeasurable, and as a parent, you'll benefit too. In only 10 or 15 minutes a day, you'll be creating more memories and a bonding experience that will last for years to come. So take time to read to your children. Read them books about things that engage and interest them. Tales of fairies and magic fascinate children, and as everyone knows, the Tooth Fairy is at the top of the list. If your child loves magic, wands, adventure, and what child doesn't, you'll love reading them books from the trademarked series, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever. Follow along as Abella, the world's first tooth fairy, accidentally starts the tooth fairy tradition. Learn the tricks of being a professional tooth fairy in the book, Abella Starts a Tooth Fairy School. Your child's imagination will soar as you read the adventures of Abella and her magic wand. These wonderful books are available at worldsfirsttoothfairy.com and at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart.
Hello, I'm Dr. Jacalyn. Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn presents A Better You. And here to tell us more is the creator of A Better You, Alcini. Al, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. It's always a pleasure working with you. And everyone out there, you might be a coach working with individuals professionally or personally, or you might be a consultant working with businesses, or you might be a trusted advisor specializing in an area like finance, let's say, or the law or healthcare. Whatever of those roles you relate to, you all have one thing in common, and that is you're working every day to help people become better versions of themselves, a better you. And Dr. Jacalyn's A Better You program is an opportunity for you to express your expertise in a particular area for 15 minutes in front of an audience of people who are looking for help from people like you.
Yep.
So, Dr. Jacalyn, maybe you can tell everybody how they can learn more about this.
It's so easy. You go to abetteryou.tv and you sign up to book your session.